Hello everyone and welcome to your reading. Today we are going to see what is going on in your career and what advice we can get for it. Now this is I'm burning some incense in the middle this time, so that's why we got some fake candles going on, but it's a vibe. For pile 1 we have cactus quartz cluster. For pile 2 we have blue calcite. And for pile 3, we have the amethyst. So go ahead and take your time and choose which pile you would like. Now that you picked your pile, go ahead and click in the timestamp for your reading. Alright, pile 1, if you've chosen the cactus quartz cluster, we'll see what card you guys have. Alright, we have the 7 of Wands. So I feel like your career might currently be feeling like something that you're fighting for. You're trying to fight to get a certain position or a certain stance or a certain grasp within your career. And I feel like you're trying your best to take control of it and to lead your own way, but you may feel like you are, having to struggle and fight for it. It doesn't feel like it's naturally coming very easily, but that will not be stopping you from continuing forward towards your goals and dreams. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pick some cards to see what is going on in your career / what does it currently feel like. Alright, so I am feeling like you can possibly feel like you have like many directions and choices to choose what is the right path for you. And it seems like it almost feels like a crossroads. It's like, which way do you go? And I think part of that has been kind of bothering you. And I feel like this is something that is kind of new-ish, like a new venture that you feel like you're trying to push towards. And so with that comes uncertainty of like whether or not you can actually pull it off, or what is the path to get there, or what to do. So I feel like there's a lot of back and forth going on. You may feel like you've been giving for so long without going anywhere. Like you feel like, that you are, I didn't realize I fell. You know that you are deserving of more than, what you're getting back. So that in itself, I could see how that would be upsetting. And it feels like, you're still trying to figure out, you're trying to spend time alone, and you're trying to figure out and decide on your own with research or, just meditating, thinking about it, about the path and what you truly want and what feels right and in alignment with you. But even though you've been doing that, I see that, it doesn't feel like you've been coming to any epiphanies with it or any conclusions. It still feels like you're trapped in this ongoing cycle of what is the right thing. I feel like you're just not fully certain, like you're wanting to fight for it, but you don't feel like you know how to. And so it just feels like everything is a little bit off balance right now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and look at, like, let's see what challenges you're having and what's holding you back. I think this has already been pretty expressive within that, but let me think of what let me pull some oracle for that one. So we have balance. It kind of goes back to here, right here, the Six of Pentacles. It just feels like it's an uneven balance of what you've been giving and what you've been receiving back. Like you feel like you've been putting in the work, but yet have not been rewarded or, I want to say upgraded or raised. What's the word? Rewarded or, basically pushed up the ladder for it. All right, joyous. So it could be leaving like a bitter taste in your mouth. And with that, it could be kind of ruining your experience with it. Like it may feel like it's taking out the joy that you do with the job in general, like why you started to do it in the first place. It's kind of robbing you of that. And so I think with that, some advice without already is just to kind of not allow that to affect you emotionally as much. I would say kind of focus on and remembering your love and joy for the job and let that push you forward to continue doing what you're doing and remind yourself why you're doing it. And, it's not to like get to the top, it's to do the act itself. And I think there is a chance to propel forward. I mean, we're going to see. We should see, will you ever get to propel? Will you get where you're trying to go? Like, will you get to the next level? Let's see. So I think that you will, but I think it's going to be very timely. So it's going to be longer than you think, kind of thing. Like, I think that there is some kind of path that you're needing to go on first to pick up some extra experience that you didn't even know you needed. And some of it might just be like you're already doing like the fight to get there. But remember to, like, as you're doing everything, remember like why you're doing it, your passion for it, and don't let anything holding you back kind of cloud you from getting there. Right? And we also have rejoice in faith. So kind of being like grateful that you're able to even enter and be in the career in the first place is like already a blessing. It's like not forgetting that, like, how lucky you are to be where you are right now. Like, to even have your foot in the door is amazing, and to have faith that it will come in time, that as long as you continue doing what you're doing, you love what you're doing, you'll naturally get better, you'll naturally be doing it more. And so I think that it will gradually lead you to where you want to be, maybe not as quickly or in the path that you imagined, but it will lead you in that direction. So now we're going to look at what are you doing right. All right, so what you're doing right, I think, is having that urge to want to propel forward. Because some people can become very like content and stagnant it doesn't really push them to grow. And so I think that you wanting to go as hard as you can, grow as much as you can, is very encouraging. It's going to help you spiritually, mentally, and in the physical realm. So I think like that passion that you have to want to propel forward is one of the things that, you know, is very positive within this universe. It looks like you are willing to give it your all and try your best and put your best foot forward. You're not being lazy about how you're doing things. You are very like passionate and putting your emotions with it. It's like something that you truly care about, and you're doing something that you deeply have as a part of your life. And so I think that is being encouraged and celebrated. And so that could be one of the reasons why you're going through this delay and challenges, is because like even though it's something that you enjoy doing and that you're good at, you are being forced to remind yourself not to get into your head about having to be the best of the best and be at the top and whatever. It's not about that. It's truly about your passion and joy and your love for it. And I think that this is a great way and reminder for that. So now we're going to get some advice for you. All right, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. So really, you should be more of a seeker and continue to find out more about your career. It's not just about like how to get to the next level, but which is also very interesting to learn different pathways and what works for that. But it's also like just learning more about the actual craft itself, the actual skills, and continuing to allow yourself to make the job easier, to make it more proficient. Ooh. All right, so we have slave. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. That goes back to like trusting that you're on the right path and that you will receive when you are ready, when you've learned all the lessons to do so. It's just surrendering your power to the universe, and just remember, like, focus on the fact that you're doing something you love and why you're doing it, and let the universe take in control of the rest. And then we have Queen. And it came in reverse, so we're going to focus on the shadow attributes, which is becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling, and demanding. So I think it's all just about kind of, again, releasing control and allowing the universe to give it to you when you are ready. All right, step back. You're being asked to step back from your life in order to gain perspective. When you're too close to a situation, it can make it a hard decision. Span out and view your life from a distance so you can get the perspective needed. All right, we have asked for help. You're being asked to request help from another. You don't need to deal with the issue alone. There are many people who want to help you, but it's up to you to bravely ask for their support. It's a sign of strength to reach out. Do that today. All right, it goes with connect. You're being asked to connect with others in a meaningful way. Sometimes it's helpful to get new perspectives, and it's simply to be around people. You're in need of this right now, and deep connections will benefit you in many ways. So I think this also goes back to like not feeling like you have to do everything by yourself, and that, you know, what you're doing in your career is a team effort. It's a group effort. It's something that you're doing with others, and so it's like being collaborative and feeling like we're all trying to, you know, contribute and make this a thing together, instead of making this like all like, oh, I have to be by myself to be myself. It's kind of looking at it like, how can we do this as a team? raise or promotion. Whoa, this is like trusting the universe. It's coming. Congratulations, and an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus. Remember, staying positive with it and focusing on why we want to do it, and willingness to take action, because you have been propelling yourself forward and you have been allowing yourself to learn, which is what the universe is very, very proud of and very excited about, I guess, would be like it knows that that's the right direction you need to go in the right mindset. So you're doing it based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. Power of prayer. Give the situation to God. So again, focusing on the universe to kind of take control and give it to you when you're ready. For uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting in prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance to you in response to your prayers. And sometimes I do believe that like wanting something so bad kind of blocks it from your life. It's just saying like, I need this. And it's kind of like that whole chasing thing, that when you're chasing, it runs away kind of thing. Like, but if you're inviting, then it comes. And so like I feel like being bitter about it and, having that mindset, you won't even enjoy it when you have it. You're like, finally, kind of thing. Like, I just think it's more just welcoming and being accepting as it comes. And we have words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Again, stay in that positive mindset. You're really being encouraged to focus on what you do love about your career, and naturally you will be rewarded for that. So it says, where am I? Oh, there we go. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in a loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you want for yourself and others. So yeah, it's also sharing like the wealth and the excitement with others to have like whatever you're doing to get the job done. It's like everyone on your team is excited about it too, and so it's all a part of that, like enjoying it together kind of thing. Like, why enjoy it by yourself when you can sit there and celebrate with a bunch of other people and create friendships and new bonds? It doesn't have to be like a competition. It can be like collaborative, which is what it's supposed to be. Anyway, those are all the messages that I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for coming to the reading, and I hope to see you next week. Stay sentient, stay kind. Hello, Pile 2. If you guys chose blue calcite, then this is going to be your pile. So for you, you have the 3 of Swords, which tells me that something in your career has been kind of a disappointment. It wasn't what you expected it to be. It could have been, of course, everyone's going to say like a sudden ending, like something, a huge change that you don't like, or just like a realization that this may not be something that you enjoyed as much as you thought that you did, or that you feel like it has aspects of it that you do not appreciate, and so that can kind of like stump your love and enjoyment for it. So you could be really having like this moment of like wondering, is this even worth staying in this career at this point? And it feels like it's almost like it's more hurting you than anything. It's like holding you back. So let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So first we're going to see what's going on in your career and / what does it feel like? Like, what are the energies surrounding it? So I do get some energy that like possibly you felt like it was something that you were working towards and trying to master for so long that it makes it hard to feel like it's hard to walk away from. It's hard to leave onto something different because you put so much time and effort into it. And on top of that, it doesn't feel like, even though you've done that, it almost feels like it's kind of been wasted, like all the time and effort. You feel like you're not progressing. You feel like you haven't mastered the skills or mastered what you're trying to do. It feels like you're just like almost stuck. And so all of that just like it adds on to the extra like annoyance of like, do I really have to switch careers when I put so much work and effort into it and I haven't even gone anywhere with it? Like, you know, you're wondering if I put more work and effort into it, will I eventually go somewhere? I mean, what's going on with it? And so it can feel like you're like beating a dead horse at this point. And it's a new venture that like you're wanting to grow, and you're hoping that it becomes something. You're hoping that you can make at least like a good living off of it, and it's something that you can continue to create and build off upon. But at the same time, it just isn't. And it, even though like no matter how much, you know, you're wanting it and you're working towards it, it just feels like it's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything. And so that in itself is just, I can feel like it's bringing a lot of frustration around it. And you're being very hesitant to start this new journey because you're like, is this really, because you wanted it so bad. You wanted to do it so bad that you're wondering, is this, you know, should I start a new journey or should I stick with this career? And I can tell you're just very unsure. Oh my goodness. This is stressing me out for you guys. Yeah, I mean, it just really, truly feels like everything you're putting in, you're not getting anything back. Like, it just feels like a waste of time, even though it's something that you deeply cared about. So, let's see. I'm going to pull a card to see, like, if you should continue on or move on. Okay. So yeah, it's showing that you are clinging on too tightly. Hold on. Two of Wands, you're still the... Okay. Come on, give me something more clear here. Honestly, it's giving me the vibe of like, it doesn't really matter what I say, you're gonna continue on for a little while longer until you feel more certain about it. Which I think is fair, because honestly, we only live once in this life, and like the fact that you're getting the opportunity to even try out this career is pretty awesome. So I think that, you know, if you feel like you want to continue on for a little while longer, I say do it. But I would also say, you know, do it with caution and kind of realize, like, give it a timeline. Say, like, if I do this for another 2 years and I'm still going nowhere and I'm still unhappy, then leave. Like, don't force yourself to stay in it forever hoping that it'll eventually change, because right now it just feels like this, whatever you're doing, it feels out of alignment with you. And you know, it could be like something you're thinking like, oh, maybe it'll eventually be in alignment, and it's hard for me to say that right now, but to me, honestly, it doesn't look like it is. It looks like something that I almost want to advise leaving, but everyone's situation is different since this is a general reading. So I would say definitely, if you feel like you want to continue on for a little while longer, go ahead and try, but don't give it a timeline, basically. Now we're going to do what challenges / what's holding you back. So we have confidence and celestial. So maybe like the lack of believing yourself, believing that, but obviously you believe in yourself somewhat if you're continuing on hoping that it'll eventually change. I would say maybe that deep down inside you do have confidence within yourself that you're able to achieve and do it, but when others are around you, it may kind of stump that. Like, you may feel more intimidating when you're like comparing yourself to them. It makes it harder to believe, like, why would you get it over someone else, kind of thing. Like, why would you be more successful? I'm gonna look up the celestial card. I'm not really sure what that one is about. So Celestial says, pay close attention to the messages and signs delivered to you. Some may be easier than others to recognize. Spirit guides and energies combined with the universe deliver guidance, sometimes in the smallest of details. Become tuned into these communications presented to you. They are gifts. Sometimes your messages will be delivered very clearly. Other times it may feel like you're putting a puzzle together. Your intuition will play an important role in your discoveries. Have you ever found a butterfly wing, a coin, or even a feather while taking a walk, and you instantly know it was meant for you? Oftentimes the presence of an energy will surround you. Listen and watch closely. So I would say this is all about like listening to your intuition and how you feel about how this situation is going to play out for you, and how this career, is it really fulfilling for you? Is it really something that is meant for you, that is benefiting you? Putting aside, they always say putting aside thoughts and feelings, because those are fleeting. And so like thoughts are more like your opinions on things, like being logical about it, and then feelings are like, oh, but you're passionate about it, you're gonna miss it, you're gonna love it, you had all these hopes and dreams. So like kind of setting all of that aside and just viewing it from like an outside perspective and listening to your intuition on like, is this truly in alignment with me? Is this truly the direction that I feel like is the best for my soul? Is this really going to nurture my soul the most? And so it's kind of like really focusing in on that. I also feel like some of this confidence could also be linked to trusting your intuition, like being confident in your intuition being correct, because I feel like a lot of the times it can feel like you're questioning it. And the only reason why I'm getting this is because an intuition we have here for Celestial, right? This is this woman's intuition from higher above, listening to it, having it speak to her, having the answers come to her. And then here in confidence, it has a moon like right above her head, in between the horns. It's like right centered. And so that's making me feel like that you could really be questioning your intuition and not trusting of it. And so I think that is one of the challenges that you're going to have to push through, is learning to trust yourself more and what is best for you, no matter how much it may hurt or be like a scary change, or like something that you're like letting go of, something that you've held on so tightly with. It's just trusting that you know what's best for your soul and what's going to nourish you the most. Uh-huh. All right. And then last but not least, we have Magical, which again is another moon, and that's perfectly centered in between the owl, which looks very similar to the moon in between the horns. So truly, it's just like letting your intuition guide your way, I think, is going to be the biggest thing for you, the biggest thing that's going to bring you to where you need to be. All right, that is going to be your answer, is letting your intuition guide your way, not anyone else's opinion, not based on how attached you are to something or to an outcome or how it's going to work, but trusting what is the most fruitful for you. So now we're going to look at what you are doing right in your career. All right, so if you guys aren't overwhelmed by the pictures and colors, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of good things, and a lot of it is, I'm going to say, is your intention behind it. Because to me, it truly feels like you're wanting a career in something that does nourish your soul, that does give you your happy ending, everything that you want. You want something that does tickle your fancy, like, your childhood, the things that you love doing in your childhood, and really connecting with people through that. You're wanting to create things that are meaningful to you. And so and then that's why you're having this indecision, because I believe that at one time you felt like this career was going to bring you that, and realizing, coming to the notion that like maybe it won't is what's heartbreaking. But I think that continuing to follow that drive that you have to find something that is fulfilling for your soul, because you already have that intention. So continuing to follow that intention is going to be your winner. It's going to be your guidance. Because we also have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups here. And so I do feel like you are very nurturing towards yourself and very, loving towards yourself through this journey. And so that continues, everything is just coming around in full circle to me, is that like, continuing with the intuition of that's self-love and nurture and what's great for your soul and what's going to bring you that happy ending. But on top of that, being able to, release what is not, allowing that for yourself and listening to your intuition of what that will be, like what direction to go in. Your intuition always knows. The higher power that you are connected to, since we are all part of the oneness of the universe, we all have the answers inside of us. If we are willing to look at them and face them while dropping the feelings and thoughts, but just going straight towards that intuition, if we're able to connect with that and truly listen, and we'll know in our know, it's like a claircognizance that we all naturally will have if we are willing to listen, then you will be guided in the exact way. You will have the right answers that you need. You have it within yourself. So now we're going to look at some additional advice. So we have gossip. Almost like gossip. Gossip awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. Servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. A lot of this is going towards like looking out at others, like what are you doing for others through this process? But of course, like I said, it's all about nurturing what's inside of you and what's going to make you be at your highest vibration. But a part of that is serving others, and so it's kind of like also focusing on, what is this career that you're going for? What meaning does it have for you? Because there could be similar careers that are, different, but they do the same in how they serve others. They might have like a similar way that it serves others. And so that can make you find that similar excitement and joy. It doesn't have to be just like this one and gun. Nothing else will be just as good as this one, that kind of thing. I think that there are some that can be similar enough that it can be just as fulfilling. And I guess one would be like, let's say you want to be a school teacher, but then you figure out how corrupt the system is and how underpaid you are and overworked. And so then you're like, no, that's not for me. So then you decide, hey, you can do your own class on your own. You don't have to be a part of the school system. You can kind of create your own like program or your own training session and like have it online, like an online training or services. Or you could even have like meetup classes, because they always have like after education classes, like community classes within different cities as well. And so you could like do different things like that, like make your own kind of shop, or you could start a YouTube channel that shows people like how to do things or like informs them, and it could be creative and teaching them that way. So there's other ways to teach people that's not just through having to be in a classroom. And if it's more specific to kids, it could always be like a thing with tutoring as well. And you can always have like a variety. It doesn't have to be like you're doing just tutoring, but you could do like tutoring and babysitting, or like however you're wanting to like nurture kids and show them like loving and get them excited about learning. There's other ways to do it. It doesn't have to be just the classroom. So that's kind of like an example. And then we have visionary. That one says, capacity to envision what is not and yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard to personal gain. So yeah, it's going towards what you envision for your life and what you want without having to consult other people within it. It's like going for, it's like, sometimes you have to be alone on this path when you are following your intuition and what's best for you. No one else will know better than yourself. And so it's just like, you have this vision of what you want to do and what you want for your life. So it's just going for it. So we have bravery. You're being asked to make a tough decision that you've been putting off because of fear, which is understandable, but you do have the strength and bravery to make this decision, and you will feel so much lighter when you do. All right, so I think that might be like a little wink at kind of letting go of the path that you've been on and finding one that is more in alignment for you, and being brave along the way and trusting that you know what's best. You have your back. You know what direction you're going in. Be like, you are the visionary. We have, it's time. You're being asked to move forward toward the dream that you've been carrying in your heart. It's time to bring it out into the world. You're ready. It's time. More winks. I mean, to me, this is all pointing to moving on. Surrender. You're being asked to let go of your need to control each part of your life and surrender to the universe. Control is an illusion, and it's exhausting trying to hold on to it. Let it go and allow yourself to enjoy and the relief that comes from doing so. Yeah, I think that also comes with, like, if something's not working out, just being able to let it go. It's just like, sometimes it's just not meant to be. Everything should align the way it should, as it should, and having trust in that. So we have clean energy food. When you fuel your body with a healthful organic diet, you increase your energy levels and ability to focus. This automatically leads to more efficient... What? Oh, sorry. I'm reading this from kind of far away. Don't judge me. This automatically leads to more efficiency, better ideas, and a higher vibration, which attracts golden opportunities and beneficial relationships. And we have donations, tithing, and charitable work. Give joyfully to the organization and people who spiritually support and inspire you, and know that your generosity will be returned to you manyfold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, or other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. Yeah, and I think that kind of goes out to, like, whatever thing that you're wanting to do for your career. I feel like that is something that's important for you, is truly, like, giving out to others and helping others succeed as well. I think you're going to be, like, I don't know why I'm getting, like, mentor vibes from you. I feel like you're trying to be some type of mentor of some type. And it's like whatever you do, you're going to be giving to others just by leading the way that you do it. You're doing it with passion and love and wanting to be at your full optimal self, and I think that in itself will be very encouraging to others. So I think that's going to play a major role in what you do. So kind of like, that's another way to look at what you're doing, is also like, how is it nurturing others along the way as well? What kind of signal are you putting out? What kind of vibrations are you putting out to others? Is it one of, oh, I must do this with force, I must get this specific career, this is the only thing that will make my life great and will solve all my problems and whatever, give me my 10 of cups where I have my dreams come true and everything works out perfectly? Or are you trying to show them like, hey, I'm doing this beautiful thing, and it's, I'm doing it everything from eating healthy to, working out, like having my body full in alignment so that I can do the best work that I can do. And everything that I do is helping me feel very at peace with life, very fulfilled inside. I feel like I'm progressing forward and growing and building upon everyone else that's already out there, and kind of adding on to the beautifulness in this life. Which vibrations are we wanting to put off here? So, that's another thing to kind of look at. Anyway, thank you so much, Pile 2, for coming to your reading, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay sentient, stay kind. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose the amethyst, then this is going to be your reading. So you guys have the Seven of Swords. This is kind of telling me that possibly with your career might be something that you're not the most proud of. Like, you're not in a place that you want to be at currently. And so, you can see where you want to go and what direction you want, but you feel like you're kind of questioning if you're going to get there on the path that you're on right now. All right, so we're going to take a look at what's going on in your career / what does it feel like? All right, Pile 3. So I feel like right now it can feel a little emotionally draining, like what you're doing trying to get there. But even though it feels emotionally draining, I do feel at the other side of it, like it can be exhausting. Like you're working so hard, long hours, that you're exhausted. But on the flip side of that, it is something that you are passionate about, and it's something that you're creating and that you want to do. And I can see that you have been investing a lot into it, and you can see that it's growing. It's going. So it does look like even if at one point you may feel like you're not going in the direction that you're needing to go, and you are, you're being encouraged to continue on the direction that you are going in. You're making the right decisions, the right choices, the right plans. You basically have it in the bag. You are going in the direction for success with what you're doing. You are going to master it. You are going to be very successful in it. And that is what I'm seeing right now. And I feel like, part of it is like, you might have come so far and already built up so much that, you're it's not like you're starting from ground zero, but you are beginning in the bigger picture of it, the bigger process of the direction you need to go to. So I feel like you have built the foundation for it, but you are still learning your way around to how to fully get to where you're going. Like, you have a long way to go, but you are going in the right direction and you have that foundation built. And so you should have confidence within that. And honestly, even though it's like pretty draining and exhausting, that's what's going to keep your spirit up, is knowing that you are on the path to success. And that in itself is very exciting, and it's coming for you. People, it's going to be a process. It's going to be a while because you're still at the beginning stages, but it's going to happen. It is in your cards that you are going the right direction, and you will be praised and looked upon. Everyone's going to be like amazed at what you're able to create. Even if anyone had doubts in you, they're going to be like, wow. And maybe that's what you're nervous about. You're like, oh, maybe some people that are close to you don't feel like you're going the right way because they haven't seen enough progress or whatever, but you know deep inside that you're going the right way because you are. And so, you know, sometimes you feel like you have to like skirt around that so people aren't like sitting there judging you like, oh, they're still going at it. But, you know, eventually they're going to come around and realize like, wow, you know, you were right. You were going the right direction. You are because it's something that you love and care about. So you like naturally go for it. All right. So now we're going to look at what challenges you may be having or what's holding you back. So I feel like one of the things that could be holding you back is allowing you to feel more at peace within. You need to feel more at peace with where you are in the journey. And so having like peace within yourself, not being too hard on yourself, even though it's exhausting and like it feels like an ongoing battle. But you know, you can see your progress, but it's kind of like being on edge about it. Like, oh, when is it going to crack? When is the next step going to happen? When am I going to propel forward? It's kind of like being on edge about that a little bit. And so I think it comes back to finding that peace kind of thing within yourself along the journey, staying present with it, with each step. And that in itself is going to allow you to evolve. It's going to hold you back if you're too busy stressing about the end and how long it's going to take to get there and when is it going to evolve to the next step. I think that stress right there is going to make it take longer and it's going to hold you back from growing. You're going to be stuck in where you are now saying, I want this now, but you have to allow yourself to grow with your career, right? So as your career evolves, you evolve. But if you're sitting here saying like stressing about, oh, you know, I should, you know, when is this next step going to be, like being on edge about it, then it's going to stunt your growth. So instead you should be focusing on how can I grow as this journey is continuing on. So staying present in that and allowing yourself to grow. And I think that's what's going to help bring the magic back within this process. I think that's what's going to make it feel more like a magical journey because you know, the steps that you're in now, you'll never be in it again. So why not just enjoy them while you're in them and allow it to naturally unfold within itself? That's part of the journey. And so it's all about really enjoying the magic of the journey. So now we're going to look at what you're doing right. So I do feel like you're not letting any setbacks get to you kind of thing. Like, you know that you're going towards the right direction. It's like, again, I feel like you have that inner knowing of like, this is something that you truly love and enjoy. And you can see that foundation being built. You can see yourself propelling in the right direction. And that in itself is encouraging. So any setbacks, any challenges, or anything that may feel like the journey is longer or stalling, or not going the way that you were hoping it would, you know that you're still going in the right direction and you have that trust. You're very nurturing within yourself. You're very kind to yourself and loving towards your inner self. And so I think that's a beautiful thing. You don't look at mistakes as setbacks. I see that like you look at mistakes of, okay, now I know how to do it better. Now I know what's going to get me there and what's not going to work and what's going to work. And so I think that is a beautiful energy to have. And I think that is going to benefit you a lot along your journey. So kind of keeping that mindset that you're already in is going to allow you to get to where you need to go. And I also feel like any success, you're not letting it get into your head. Like, I feel like you're very modest about it. You're very like kind-hearted. You're like, I'm not doing this for the recognition and the love. I'm doing this because this is something that I'm truly care about. And I think that's pretty awesome too. All right, and then we have companion, loyalty. Oh, so we're doing advice. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. So that's kind of part of the energy that you need to continue to be in, is that like you're doing this as a companion to others. You're doing this as like a teamwork and to bring others up with you. You're not doing it to bring yourself up and others down. You're doing it to bring everyone up together. How is this going to be beneficial to everybody involved? And so that's part of your mindset going in, or it should be. We have detective, great powers of observation and initiation. And intuition. Sorry, I gotta pick up the mic and move closer to it. I'm very blind. There we go. Great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. So again, I think, you continue what you're doing, basically. Like, you're seeing each setback or each delay as something that, what can I do to better this setback and delay to make me propel forward? What is this? What about this? Like, what lesson can I learn from this to help me along the way? I think that you're already starting to do that, and continue to do that, and continue to do extra research around that. Like, on top of that is what I mean. Do extra research on top of that. So on top of the mistakes that you're making, do what are some new techniques that people are doing, or, just be creative in the way that you're going about it. Do something that's never been done before. All right, and we have liberator. Freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. So just continuing to be positive about the situation as you go. All right, we love how presence comes up again in this reading. As we mentioned before, it's kind of like staying present within the whole journey and allowing yourself to grow with the process. As your career is growing, allowing yourself to grow with it. So it says you're being asked to spend more time in the present moment, to stop ruminating about the past or longing for the future. Your life is happening right now, and when you're not present for it, you will miss all of the beauty. We have let it go. You're being asked to let go of whatever pain and resentment you've been holding on to. It's hurting you and you can't fully be present in your life. It's asking you to be present again twice. All right. If you're holding on to this negativity, you cannot be present. Release it and be free. All right, so anything in your past that you felt like could be a slow process, or it could be like people who didn't believe in you, people who kind of like put you down for what you're trying to do or judged you or whatever. It's kind of like letting that go and just remaining present and paying attention to what you're doing now for it, and what's growing for you now, and what's working for you, and what's not working, and how to fix what's not working, and just continuing to be there for yourself is really, it's all about nurturing yourself. We have the Ace of, like, usually Ace of Cups doesn't necessarily mean that, but this picture always gives me that. Like, it just, the way that it's set up just really does make it look like you're nurturing your inner self. And so just like continuing to focus on that journey and what you're doing for you and how you're growing, and like kind of letting go of any of that knack that no longer serves you from the past. There's no point in holding on around it. And then maybe that's what this is about. There's no point of sneaking around that negativity that's been trying to follow you. It's just like letting it go and staying present in what you're building now. We also have ask for help. You're being asked to request help from another. You don't need to deal with the issue alone. There are many people who want to help, but it's up to you to bravely ask for their support. It's a sign of strength to reach out. Do that today. So don't feel like you have to do anything by yourself as well. Like, just because it's your dream, guess what? It's going to help other people, and it's going to benefit other people. And so for that reason, other people are going to want to help you and want to help to see, the ones that want to see you succeed are going to want to like jump in as well, as you would do for them. So it's kind of like that give and take that the universe naturally has, that ebb and flow of back and forth of what you put out, you receive kind of thing. So it's okay to, if you don't feel like there's certain parts of it that you could do by yourself, it's okay to ask for help. And just because the other person can say no, don't expect that, even if it's like being open to like, okay, well, I'm at least put it out there. It's say no, it's not the end of the world. At least I ask, kind of thing. So we have words of abundance. You have the ability to instantaneously manifest abundance by choosing powerful, positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in a loving and optimistic terms, and that is what you attract for yourself and others. So continue to stay positive about the process along the way. Don't even if other people want to be negative about it, just kind of let their, that's their opinions, they're entitled to it. So let them keep that, let it flow by you, and let them keep that within them if they want to hold on to that, and continue to focus on where you're going in your journey and your abundance through it all and what you're creating. I'm leaning in real tight on this one because these are really tiny words on this one, and it's a lot of them. So the top says, exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes your own reward. Yeah, do something that you get excited about while you're working out. It could even be like a sport. It could even be a Wii, like the Wii games or whatever. Just some kind of form. It could be Pilates. It could be yoga. It could be the aerobics, like Jane Fonda, bring it on back. Basketball, soccer, football, jogging, weightlifting, whatever you want to do. There's so many different, you could challenge yourself, like, ooh, I could lift 5 pounds yesterday. Let's see if I can do 7 today or something. I don't know, whatever. That's like really low bar, 5 pounds, but we got to start from somewhere. So yeah, just kind of bring more enjoyment into your life. I think that'll be a good stress reliever too. I mean, because if you're getting emotionally drained and exhausted from all the work that you're putting in, I think that's going to help balance that. It's going to give you more of your energy back. It's going to give, so you won't be as exhausted overall in the long term. You're going to just, it's going to help your parasympathetic nervous system, so you're going to be more calm, and you're going to just overall have a more clear mind, because exercising is known to help with brain fog, and you're going to just have more ready energy to get up, and you're going to look at the exercise as like a fun hobby, like a fun reward. And so just kind of like involving that and the process of what you're trying to create is going to allow you to have a great life overall, just like a happy, healthy, well-balanced life. Right, and we have detox your friendships. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you're spending time with, so be discerning about who you associate in relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. So yes, allowing any negative people or anyone who's doubting you, anyone who's giving you a hard time, not spending your energy and time on them, and just allowing them to be who they are, and just focus on you and focus on inviting around people who are supportive and loving. And I think just having all that is going to be very encouraging to continue on the path you're going on, because again, I see so much success and abundance for you, pile 3. Like, there is no wrong direction for you at this point, because you're killing it. You're doing something that you love, and you're going for it, and you're taking the steps and laying down the foundation for it. So again, just as long as you're staying present and taking care of yourself, working out, allowing yourself to have more energy is going to help re-energize you, and just enjoying the whole process and growing with it along the way. I think you got it in the bag, pile 3. You got it. So congratulations to you. All right, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. That's the end of the reading, and hope to see you next week. Stay sentient, stay kind. Bye.